You guys remember the Board of Peace?
Kind of.
Heard of it.
That seems like it was 10,000 news cycles ago, though.
So there's the Gaza peace plan, right? There's a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. As part of that peace plan that was brokered by President Donald Trump, there's a little organization mentioned in the peace plan called the Board of Peace. And it was an organization that he was going to oversee to deal with the Gaza peace process. Well, it's been a couple months since that treaty was signed, and there were some updates at Davos, actually, which we talked about in yesterday's episode. And we got an idea of what the organization, the Board of Peace, is going to look like. Some of the details are, frankly, so crazy they're going to sound made up. So in that spirit...
That's pretty standard these days, unfortunately.
In that spirit,
God,
I'm going to give you some real facts about the Board of Peace and some fake stuff, and I'm going to quiz you as to which ones are real and which ones are certifiable fake news.
So bad.
Fact number 1. The Board of Peace's purpose is to oversee the Gaza peace process. You know, pretty simple, right?
This has got to be true, right?
Is that how we're doing this? We just say true or false?
Yeah, the answers are going to be true or false.
I'm going to say false. I'm sure like it was initially created for that, but like isn't it like now like the UN? The Board of Peace is like the UN, but Donald Trump is in charge.
David, you are correct. That statement is now false. The fundamental understanding has changed. If you read the charter to the Board of Peace, an organization that was initially meant to oversee the Gaza peace process, Gaza is not mentioned once.
Seems like an oversight.
Yeah, like it's an organization that had a bunch of member nations, and it's overseen by Donald Trump. And he said some things that are like a little worrying. Like, here's a quote: "Once this board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do, and we'll do it in conjunction with the United Nations."
Whoa.
And
Cool.
do pretty much whatever we want to do now.
What has he been doing up till now?
I mean, that's really the question, isn't it? I mean, what's stopping him from doing whatever he wants to do now?
Yeah, we do pretty much what we want to do now. What is it that he wants to do? I mean, unless he's saying, like, we can do whatever. We can invade Greenland now in conjunction with the UN. It's either he's saying nothing, like nothing at all, or he's saying some like extreme, crazy, wacky thing, right? Now we can do whatever the fuck we want. Let's go nuke Siberia.
As the
Or is he
global
saying
hegemon of like 50 years or so, the United States has been allowed to do pretty much whatever they want. But now that we're free of restrictions like logic or common sense,
Or the
Or-
North Atlantic Treaty.
thinking like more than one step ahead, now we can really do whatever we want. And people are looking at this organization and drawing some uncomfortable parallels to the structure as sort of like a bizarro United Nations, where the only purpose stated is to bring countries together and work out deals for international peace, which is kind of like what the UN does. And a reporter asked Trump if this was going to replace the UN, and he's like, it could. You know, it's not like the
See-
UN does anything.
The UN has
Yeah, I
one
mean-
crushing flaw to Donald Trump's mind, which is Donald Trump didn't invent it.
Yeah, I mean, presumably he's going to pull us out of the UN, right? I mean, I guess like NATO and the UN still exist. Maybe they'll continue to exist, but yeah, we're out of the WHO now.
I mean, surely he
I mean,
wouldn't be dumb enough to give up the Security Council veto, right? Because, like, how else would he protect his buddy Israel if he doesn't have that?
Well,
I mean, with the law of
this
the
was
jungle.
approved by the Security Council, this Board of Peace. I mean, this was approved before they knew what it was going to look like, so maybe that was an oversight on some of the Security Council's members,
Oops,
one
blank
of which
check.
we'll talk about a little bit later. So the score is a 1-0 there, favor David. Let's get to question number 2,
All
or
right,
statement number
redemption.
2.
Let's come back to
Members of the Board of Peace serve a 3-year term unless they pay Trump $1 billion, in which case they're a permanent member.
like literally just they paid Trump himself,
True.
the man, to his bank account, $1 billion.
Well, it's the Board of Peace.
This sounds true then.
Definitely
this,
true.
This is exactly
Gotta
the
be
kind
true.
of thing that he would come up with, right?
This is true. Yeah. Trump wants nations to pay $1 billion to become permanent members of the Board of Peace. So member states serve a 3-year term, subject to renewal at the end of 3 years by the chairman, which is Donald Trump. And they can skip this process by paying $1 billion. The purpose of these $1 billion donations to the Board of Peace, at least according to Donald Trump, is to go towards rebuilding Gaza. But there are no provisions as to how that money will be spent. And so far as we can tell by reading the charter, Donald Trump has total control over those funds. So, you could spend $1 billion to stay in, but that's a permanent deal. Now, you got to think about the future. This Board of Peace will surely last for millennia.
Years.
1,000-year Reich. Board of Peace.
All right, 2-1. Okay. Statement number 3. Trump is the chairman of the Board of Peace for 20 years, at which point a new chair will be elected.
All right, you said you put fake facts in here, so I'm just going to vote fake. I'm gonna read the test taker instead of the test.
20 years, and then a new one is elected. I'll go true. Yeah, sure. But, it's either that or it's Donald Trump for life. It wouldn't be Trump for life. Yeah, I'm going to go true. Yeah, sure, 20 years.
It is all tied up. It is Donald Trump for life.
Which is less than 20 years. Hey, upsides.
It probably, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Trump is a chairman for life. And
Dude.
only the chairman can nominate a new chairman.
What if he's dead?
Not only does the Board of Peace dissolves because only the chairman can nominate a new chairman. The chairman must elect a successor.
All right, so the country of America is now literally led by the chairman for life, and Republicans are okay with this.
This is just such a clear scam, right? It's just a scam. It's giving $1 billion to this organization that I own for life. Like what? It's just a scam.
This is the man who was convicted of defrauding a children's cancer charity, so...
You forget about some of the details, but yes, indeed, that is the same man who defrauded a children's cancer. Yeah. Hey,
our leader, the best of our nation.
That's the leader, and the leader for life. But let's talk about the membership. Fact number 4. Membership invites have been accepted by many nations, including Russia, Israel, Belarus, Qatar, and Jared Kushner.
Is Jared Kushner a nation? False. Jared Kushner is not a nation.
I guess you can't answer the question without spoiling the answer. I'll say yes. All those countries seem like logical
probably all of
countries.
these people are on the board, but Jared Kushner is not a country. I refuse to accept the fact.
I'm going to say Jared Kushner is a country now, and has he given his $1 billion to it? Yeah, why
David
not?
is correct. Jared Kushner is a country. No, but I don't know. You can register your complaint to the chairman of the quiz, and we'll consider it for the next agenda, Danny. But this one is true. The invites to the Board of Peace appear not to be limited to nations, but also to individuals to staff what's known as the Executive Board. So some of the members of the Executive Board include Tony Blair, Jared Kushner, and Marco Rubio.
Real who's who of ghouls.
I bet Tony Blair is just my fucking god. How did I get here?
And we glossed over it, but what a murderer's row of nations to join. All the big hits of human rights. Russia, Israel, Belarus, Qatar.
But no North Korea. I guess Kim Jong-un is too smart to give $1 billion to Donald Trump. Come on, this is a fucking scam.
Not all United Nations members were invited. It's just who Donald Trump invited. Okay.
Canada's been uninvited. This might be maybe this is one of your questions, but I know Carney's speech.
This is regarding a different invitee, a United Nations Security Council permanent member, actually. A representative from France was invited and declined the invite to join the Board of Peace. Trump accepted their refusal with patience and grace.
See, now you know this one's false, because he's never accepted anything with patience and grace that was a setback.
Yeah, definitely.
He's still mad about snubs from 30 years ago on a talk show that he wasn't even on, dude. There's no way he accepted this with patience and grace.
False. Yeah, no. So France refused to join the Board of Peace. Trump immediately threatened 200% tariffs on French wine and champagne as a result of them declining his offer to join his club of people who like to pay him $1 billion. Take that, French wineries. That'll show you to not join this little oligarch project? I don't know.
So is it when you join the Board of Peace, do you get to sell your own Board of Peace to all your neighbors? Like you ask them for $1 billion, but you have to give $900 million back to the main Board of Peace. Is it like
Yeah,
that
if you
kind
get
of a
in
Board of Peace?
early and you get a lot of boards of peace under you, then you can really rake it in. Think of how many people are offering you $1 billion. All you have to do is pay the $1 billion once, and then you reap the dividends.
Now, each level, as you're going down, it gets bigger and bigger. Kind of like a
Sure,
pyramid.
I mean, you have to kick up some of your billion up to the chain because, like, you still want to be in the organization. You know how, like Jared Kushner and Tony Blair are on the executive board, and then there's regular board members who are nation states? The executive board, one of their duties is setting all the agenda items for every meeting of the member states. Member states can suggest things to put on the agenda, but the executive board is the only one who can add items to the agenda. So they basically get to decide what they do or talk about. And yeah, I think that's about the order of operations. Like nations of the world, president's son-in-law, the president. That's how it goes. So I think advantage David still. Number 6. All right. Members of the board can be voted off the board in a vote of no confidence by a 2/3 majority of board members.
True. That seems reasonable. I don't know. Something you would put into an organization.
I mean, I guess they want to get rid of Tony Blair, and there's no way. I mean, they're all a bunch of. And wait, can you buy your way onto this board? You can.
Only way of getting onto the board is by invitation of the chair.
So yes, you can absolutely pay Donald Trump and he will invite you.
Yeah, so I would say no. I don't think that this rule exists.
David is up 2. Only Trump can remove members.
Of course, right. I forgot he hates democracy. There won't be voting.
The charter makes no mention of if you paid the $1 billion, whether or not Trump can still remove you. So there's a chance that because of the vagary of the charter, that you could pay the $1 billion and still get kicked off the board.
I mean, I don't think that's an accident, an oversight. I think that's on purpose.
That's the
I think
plan.
You're right on that one.
It's a scam. This is just a transparent scam.
It is a scam that, let's see, it looks like about 30 member nations have joined on to. So Argentina, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Bulgaria, Hungary, Indonesia, Jordan, Kazakhstan.
Just the little guys who can't say no.
Indonesia is solidly a middle power. Turkey, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, totally.
Well, but you'll notice that both of those countries have autocratic leaders that want to suck up to Trump.
Oh, no, it's 100% either autocrats or like achy democracies that are like strongly aligned with Trump, like Javier Milei's Argentina. No, you got
Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey, Pakistan, Qatar, UAE.
Man, he's going to get $1 billion from a lot of these.
They're like basically Turkey's NATO, but basically no NATO nations are on there except the United States and Turkey.
Shocking that they wouldn't want to sign on to a new alliance with us, given how the other one's going.
Yeah, I believe Russia should be on there. I know Vladimir Putin is like the representative on there, so yeah.
Can't think of a better guy to be on a board of peace.
Yeah, because he's bored of peace.
Yeah, him, Trump, and Bibi Netanyahu. It's like nightmare blunt rotation. All right, almost done here. Statement number 7. Trump has absolute veto power on all decisions made by the board.
It's got to be true.
True.
It is true. Yeah. Decisions of the executive board shall be made by a majority of the members present and voting, including the chief executive. Such decisions shall go into effect immediately, subject to veto by the chairman at any time thereafter. So at any time, Trump can always change his mind on any decisions made by the board and be like, nah, like the veto isn't even time limited. It's just like...
He does like to change his mind, dude. You know, it checks out.
At any point, you can just change their policies. Yeah. Just like, I'm going to end all of our programs. Yeah. Rebuild Gaza. Nah.
One last one. Trump says it is an enormous honor to serve as chairman of the Board of Peace, an organization he created.
Yeah, this has got to be true, dude. He never misses a chance to jerk himself off.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure he's...
Yep, that one is true. Yeah, the full quote is, This board has the chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created, and it's my enormous honor to serve as its chairman. Today, the first steps toward a brighter day for the Middle East and a much safer future for the world are unfolding right here before your very eyes. And together, we're in a position to have a credible chance to end decades of suffering, stop generations of hatred, bloodshed, forge a beautiful, everlasting, and glorious peace for that region. So yeah, that's the Board of Peace. What do you think?
It sucks. I hate it.
It's literally a scam.
I don't think that can be overlooked. It's just a way for him to somehow like run a scam that extracts like billions and billions of dollars to his own personal gain.
Well, I mean, has anyone paid the $1 billion yet? I feel like a 3-year term is probably sufficient.
Vladimir Putin, I don't think has paid the $1 billion, but said that it would be willing to pay the $1 billion using frozen American assets. So yeah, we'll buy it.
Yeah,
we'll pay it, but we'll be stealing from you.
These guys.
I don't know
like
if anyone's paid the $1 billion.
Classic frenemies, right? Putin and Trump, just like they should be in a buddy cop movie together.
I mean, I feel like Trump's more of a lapdog than a frenemy, right? He doesn't really push back on Putin at all.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Where is he this week on the simping and normal meter? They've got sanctions on Russian oil.
Not
they
that
have
he
a
put
will
there.
they won't they thing going between the two of them. There's another $1 billion down the drainer of an episode of Info Hazard. If you get an invitation to the Board of Peace, just accept it. That might fly you out and let us know how it went.
Wait, where do they meet? Do they meet in Gaza? Because being flown out to Gaza is not that much of an incentive.
Sure. I imagine they meet at somewhere that is convenient for Trump because Trump gets to decide when and where they meet, if ever.
Probably at one of his hotels so he gets more money while they meet.
Little St. James.
Yeah. Yeah, they all fly on the Lolita Express to Little St. James, and then they talk about world peace. Yeah. And, well, that's all. Bye!